What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about if the Court of Owls will be the main villain in the next Batman movie. Now, obviously, we have to talk a little bit about spoilers in the Batman, so if you haven't seen the movie yet or you don't want to know spoilers, turn away now. We kind of have to talk about that movie first in order to figure out where they could be heading for the second one. All right, so jumping into it, right? Obviously, we have the conversation. Actually, I made a video yesterday about the Joker, and at the same time I put up the video, IGN released their video interviewing Matt Reeves, in which he talked about the Joker and kind of an idea of what he kind of is, what kind of character he is, and talked about maybe seeing him in the future, in that he doesn't actually know if Joker would be the villain or would even be in the second Batman movie or not, which is obviously pretty interesting, right? You see the Joker in this movie and you think, all right, well, why do you do that? I mean, the most obvious answer would be to kind of set him up to get familiar with him, to then have him be a villain. But honestly, that could very easily not be the answer. Now, when it comes to the Court of Owls, why are they, and even a discussion? Well, two reasons. One, from the movie itself. Now, I actually want to leave that afterwards. Number two is everybody talking about it. So really, everybody on the cast and crew of the Batman hasn't shut up about the Court of Owls, and I say that in the best possible way because I actually really do want to see the Court of Owls in a movie. So I'm all for the idea. I guess I should just make that known. But everybody, Matt Reeves has talked about it. Robert Pattinson, I think he said to Vanity Fair a few days ago in a video that he's just telling people that that's what he expects to see, or that's what he wants to see, because it just seems like the right thing to do. So that's what he's kind of going forward, just assuming. So even I think Paul Dano, right, the actor for the Riddler, he even said he wants to see the Court of Owls. So literally everybody, including Matt Reeves himself, wants to do at some point a Court of Owls storyline. So you have that. That seems like pretty good. Not necessarily proof, but that seems like pretty good, just an indication of where they're heading. And then you go to really the central plot of the Batman, and even you can go, I would argue, with the spin-offs that you're going to see on HBO Max, which is kind of the corruption of the city, right? I would argue that was kind of the centralized point of the movie is the corruption that's all throughout Gotham, whether it's in the politics or the police force or whatever. And we're going to, again, see that in the HBO Max show, focusing on the Gotham police, even like the Penguin one. I mean, that seems to be the idea. Then you also have, obviously, they're going the path of the Waynes being, having, I guess, not necessarily corruption, but them having issues that people are now going to be, aware of, or obviously Bruce Wayne is aware of it. So I really, in my opinion, or what we know about the Court of Owls, I would say it kind of lines up really, really well with the Court of Owls, right? This organization, this group that's kind of always been there, always been watching, is kind of the driving force of everything. They control everything, and when you have an idea, I guess, of pretty much everybody and everything in the city being corrupted, well, who are they being corrupted by? Is it really Carmine? Is it really him? You can't really do that anymore because of the events of the movie, right? So there's got to be somebody even bigger, and I would argue that is most likely the Court of Owls. So it's not too much, but I really would say just the idea of corruption and what the Court of Owls kind of, I guess, how they would play into that, as well as what just everybody, off the set, or I guess, again, the actors, the actresses, everybody that's making the movie, nobody stops talking about the Court of Owls. So I would imagine it's only a matter of time. Now, I have said that I think they'd be a good kind of like a trilogy closer, but at this point, again, really the Robert Pattinson quotes are the most interesting, right? He really does think, really does want them to be the villain of the next movie. I don't know if it would be too soon. Obviously this Batman is early on in the career, so it's only 2 years. Now, do you do a time jump? Do you do a 2, 4, 6 year, something like that? Do you do, a big jump to the second movie? And then I guess if you have the Court of Owls being the villain of the second movie, it's well, how do you one up them in the third movie? And kind of using that reverse reasoning is why I would say I think it makes the most sense for them to appear as the closing villains. I do want to see them try out different stuff. I would, obviously the Mr. Freeze discussion has been brought up. I think that'd be kind of cool to see how you would do something like a Mr. Freeze. Honestly, kind of how people maybe felt about Bane. How would you have done Bane in the Chris Nolan trilogy? I have those same kind of, wonders with Mr. Freeze. But you could do a wide variety of different villains, both grounded and not grounded, and then obviously making them a little bit grounded in this film. So it's not like I just want them to go with the generics. If they were to do like the Batman 2 and then do Joker, and then the third Batman they did the Court of Owls, I wouldn't think that's like the worst thing in the world. It's again what I said in the video talking about Joker, where it's like, am I really one, or should I be one to really question them right now after what they did with this movie? I think they've deserved, let them do what they want to do. I do think we'll get the Court of Owls eventually, even if it's not in the second movie. Then I would imagine it has to be in the third. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure, as always, you guys are subscribed to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. If you want to follow me anywhere else, all my social media is in the description below. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you all on the next video.